Hey Mark, yeah, I'm here running with local law enforcement on their annual torch run to benefit Special Olympics, and we're actually about a mile away from Rentwan Park.
As teachers walked in to get their checks last week, they didn't know if they were going to get paid or not. Luckily, the bank came through with a line of credit and teachers got their check.
Well, if you want to see the pros do it, come out to the DuQuoin State Fair Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. For now, live in Franklin County and hurting a little bit, Brandon Merano, News 3.
Most people from Harrisburg will tell you
What's wrong with the intersection?
this intersection presents some serious danger. That's a stop sign on State Route 3 just a couple miles south of Chester. When I was here Monday, this road was drivable. Now, it's covered in about 4 feet of water. Bullard says the city of Mount Vernon jacking up the rates on their meters would literally be like residents throwing their money in the trash.
Now, after firefighters arrived and they put out the flames, that's when they found a body right behind the Midas Repair Center over there across the street. Now, people working in offices nearby tell me it's the last thing they expected to see while arriving at work this morning.
The sound of trains going up and down these tracks have been his biggest problem. That was until he got an email Thursday saying his church just a few hundred feet away from these tracks was on railroad property.
Dennis, people are wondering what's going on here in Carbondale. Now, according to crime data, so far this year, Carbondale has already seen more shootings than any other year in the last decade.
As soon as you walk into the Illinois Star Center Mall in Marion, you notice a few things right off the bat. Like an empty storefront here, and right here. Good footwear is always a concern out here, as Caitlin Sauger found out firsthand when her shoes fell apart and she nearly tripped. It should also worry you as well, because it affects everything from where you shop to where you eat. And without state funding, Arnold says things vital to the program would disappear. 71-year-old Richard Hinman is taking the journey of a lifetime.
Started early today, try to beat this rain.
One step at a time.
I'm probably different than a lot of folks, but that's okay.
Different,
I can go all day at this speed.
but in a great way.
I got a lovely wife that puts up with me, so I can't be too damn bad.
To give you an idea of just how far Hinman's traveling, let me break it down for you. He started here in Carmi, and he's traveling more than 150 miles all the way to the Children's Hospital in St. Louis.
Jerry said, what are you going to do your birthday? And I said, let's just walk to St. Louis.
He's walking for his great niece, Megan Rice, who was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia.
Strong young lady, just unbelievably strong what she goes through. And, you know, she tolerates all this medication. She goes back up Thursday, I believe.
Rice, a sophomore at Carmi High School, is now in remission and undergoing chemotherapy, which gives her problems walking.
I was like, man, he's gonna do that? Like, is he gonna be able to? And then he's just very determined. He's hard-headed.
Walking this pace since 6:30 this morning.
Hard-headed, but big-hearted.
You've got this disease and it's just terrible.
Hinman has helped raise more than $12,000 for St. Louis Children's Hospital.
When you go up there and it's personal and it's somebody you love, it's just tough to watch.
Which is why, despite the occasional ache and pain,
Those muscles start tightening up.
71-year-old Richard Hinman will keep going every step of the way. Brandon Merano.
Stay hydrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
News 3. Thomas Stubbs prefers the simple life.
I'm a Vietnam veteran, so I like my quiet and solitude. Get back,
For Stubbs, there's no better place to find that quiet than this small Pulaski County community called America. And in Stubbs' America, 4th of July plans are simple.
To cut the grass and to go to the Kingdom Hall this evening. We got a meeting this evening at the Kingdom Hall, but other than that, I don't have no special plans.
He calls the few people that do live here the best part of his tiny community.
They are real nice. Every time I'm cutting grass or whatever and they pass by, I wave and they wave back at me.
Stubbs celebrated the 4th in America by mowing his grass.
I was born in Alabama in the country, so this was right up my alley.
The Marine bought this house more than a decade ago.
Hey, boy, he's trying to get your picture. Look toward the camera. Look, look.
He lives here with his best friend Walnut.
That's right, Milwaukee. Yep.
For Stubbs, a perfect America is a place where a man can mow his yard and enjoy peace and quiet with his best bud.
Yeah, America, period. Yeah, you got that right.
In America, Brandon Merano, News 3. Hauling a house down a highway is a tough task for movers. And for people clearing the way like tree cutting expert Michael Caskey.
So here we are today, following the house in front of it, making sure the path's cleared up and, you know, keeping busy.
Caskey and his crew quickly made room for more than 2,000 square feet of home heading down Highway 14 east of Benton.
All the trees, everything you see hanging over the roadway here, we're making sure the house has plenty enough room to clear by, and that's what we've been contracted in to do and required by the state to do.
It's definitely not every day you see a house 80 feet long being towed behind a semi.
1 second here. In the middle of trying to get past a tree.
Unless your name is Rick Payne, who has wanted to move big things since seeing a house hauled as a kid.
I thought I was seeing things, or it's something that I know kids and even adults can really appreciate the magnitude of the building this size.
A local coal company bought the land where the house originally sat, leaving the homeowners to decide whether to build new or take their home with them.
They decided that it'd be easier, faster, and cheaper just to move the house, and the owners really, you know, they like the house, and, you know, it's your home. If you like it, why not just keep it?
The process may seem extreme, but is actually cheaper than tearing down and building new.
I'd say it's estimated at least $300,000 home.
Crews ran into a few snags along the way, but Caskey says it's an experience he'll never forget.
It's going to be one of them. I mean, I'll remember this for a long time. I mean, you don't see a house going down a U.S. highway usually. Not a full-size one at that.
A drive down Interstate 57 near the I-24 split Thursday looked like a real mess.
It causes a big disaster.
Just ask tow truck driver Sean Hughes.
This is the first time we've ever had this many back to back.
4 semis crashed in the northbound lane, closing the interstate for hours while crews cleaned up.
Whenever these tractor trailers wreck, the debris goes all over the road. Could be bananas. We done pork butts last night.
The crash sent vegetable oil and bananas all over the road, something Goreville Fire Chief Kenneth Swisher says he hasn't seen in more than a quarter century on the job.
No, but we had one about 2 months ago with broccoli.
Swisher calls it a miracle no one got seriously hurt in the fiery crash.
And that was our main concern. We was afraid there was drivers still in the trucks. We didn't know when we first got here.
It backed up traffic for miles and sent long lines of traffic through the town of Goreville as drivers looked for ways around the mess. Meantime, this made for Hughes' 4th semi-crash this week. He doesn't want to see 5 and hopes everyone slows down.
We just get home long enough to eat supper and we got to come back out again.
Working on this huge cleanup that backed up traffic for hours. In Johnson County, Brandon Merano, News 3.